Hello, this is Des Vitek here. I hope you can hear me or see me, whether you're tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter and Periscope. I'm going to do a series of videos over the next 14 days. I'm actually part of Ray Higdon's 14-day challenge. He set this gauntlet for us to do a live stream on social media every day for 14 days. And during this period, I'm going to be learning lots of things and implementing them as I learn them. And you're going to get the chance to find out what I learn and how that might help you, particularly if you're running a business. So if you are self-employed or you're running a small business and you're wondering how you can use video to scale your business and reach a bigger audience, then I'm going to be actually implementing some of those skills that I'm learning live and teaching at the same time. So it's going to be a bit of a journey for me. And the title of this video, if it's worked successfully, is how to get out of your comfort zone. Now, right now, I'm too busy to do any of this. That means that the videos aren't going to be too long, which you'll be glad to know. This first one is really just kind of laying down the foundations for what's going to be happening over the next 13 days. So really what I want to just talk to you very briefly about is how to get out of your comfort zone. Now, I'm going to be just delivering this from stuff that I've learned over the years, and it might prove valuable for you. And I think part of comfort zone is really there are several factors to why we don't get out of our comfort zone. And I just want to share a few of those kind of from personal experience. And in case you wonder, is this sort of thing difficult for me? Well, it was to start with. I used to be a teacher, so I'm used to standing up in front of people and performing. But the first time I ever did that, it was really embarrassing and actually really cringeworthy. And it did get better over time. So I think, one of the key things when you're doing something new is to realize that actually the first few times you do it, it's not going to be that great. And one of the reasons why we don't get out of our comfort zone is perhaps because we're more focused on what other people think of us rather than actually delivering value to other people. So realize this, that the vast majority of people that we encounter are probably more concerned about themselves and what other people think of them than they are about you. That's not universally the case by any stretch, but it certainly helps you to kind of make that leap into what I call the growth zone when you come to the understanding that actually for a lot of people, the reason why they never try anything new or do anything outside of the ordinary is because they're afraid of what other people think of them. And if that's something that's holding you back, then there's probably some underlying reasons for that, which are probably a bit too deep to go into in this video. But that's something certainly that you should be asking yourself if you are worried about why other people, you're afraid of other people criticizing you or judging you. Why is it that that's holding you back? And what can you do about it? Because I think a lot of people have that as a kind of a bit of a ball and chain around their ankles and they never get outside their comfort zone all their lives. So I think, if you wanting to get outside of your comfort zone and you've got those sorts of issues holding you back, then it's definitely good to talk to some people that you love and that care for you and who understand you, perhaps even better than yourself, because sometimes other people can see our blind spots when we can't see our own. So that's the first thing. So it's dealing with that kind of self-critical or perhaps worried about other people, what they think of you. The second thing is perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is kind of closely related to the first thing. So how do you get out of your comfort zone if you're a perfectionist? I think you have to realize that actually perfectionism, whilst it definitely has its place, particularly if you're building aeroplanes, bridges, or you're doing brain surgery, there are a lot of instances in life where actually perfectionism can really hinder you from trying something new. And so it's important to kind of put that in its context, if you like. So there are definitely places, real places, where being very, very diligent and making sure that you do everything right is really, really important. It could be life or death. It could be critical to the mission of a particular organization. So yes, trying to do your absolute best is a really good thing, but realize that your best is sometimes just not going to be it's not going to be quite the standard that you want, but sometimes you have to get to that point in life where you think, is this good enough? Is this standard or whatever I've achieved good enough to actually get somewhere and achieve something and accomplish something that otherwise I never would have even tried? Now, if you are tuning in live, I'm just going to say to you, I can't see your chat at the moment because I'm using a new platform. So the other videos I might be doing on my mobile phone where I can chat to you live. So if you are commenting, I want to say thank you very much for turning up this evening and listening to this live stream on how to get out of your comfort zone. And obviously I'm doing what I'm saying on the tin here because I'm really out of my comfort zone at the moment, in the sense that I'm just too busy to do this. I've got so many things on at the moment. I really shouldn't be doing this from that perspective. But I really wanted to grow and scale one of my businesses over the next 90 days. And I thought, what better way to do that than to actually engage and connect with people and share some things I'm learning on a 14-day challenge that I'm doing with Ray Higdon, who has basically said, do a live stream on social media every day for 14 days and share it with people and, teach what you've learned. So I'm going to be teaching you and sharing a few things with you that Ray's going to be teaching us, but I'm also going to be delivering some other stuff that I've learned over the last 11, 12 years of being in business, because a lot of what I do is actually, work based, and certainly video is something that I've done in my business, and I want to be sharing some stuff about that too. So just to wrap up then, how to get out of your comfort zone. There is there's two things I want to kind of round off with. There's two great statements, and they have their context as well. Okay, so just don't kind of think that these are the be all and end all of how to get out of your comfort zone. But before I share those two things with you, I just want to talk to you about an alternative way to see the comfort zone and getting out of your comfort zone. And this is something that, I don't know if you can imagine this, but if you imagine a circle where your comfort zone is, and then outside of that, about 20% outside, there's another circle. And in that second circle is a kind of, is the area where you're not so familiar, not so competent or confident because you haven't practiced a lot, whatever it is you're doing. And a lot of people find that's a difficult place to be because they don't want to make mistakes, as I said earlier in this live stream, or perhaps they know that they can't give their best, so they'd rather not give at all. But actually, if you reframe that in your head and think to yourself, rather than it being the uncomfortable zone or discomfort zone, think of it as the growth zone. If you've ever done anything lifting weights, I've actually got a weight down here because I need to start doing this. This is a 3 kilogram weight. Now, when I was a teacher 12, 13 years ago, this was very, very light, and now it's actually quite heavy. And the reason it's quite heavy is because I don't lift books anymore, so my muscles have diminished. And getting out of your comfort zone is just like a muscle, because in fact what it is, it's like a growth. I like to reframe it as a growth zone. So when you decide that actually you want to grow, you realize you're going to have to tear some muscles to actually build the muscles up, and you're going to have to make some mistakes. You're going to have to do things imperfectly. And so that's really, really important analogy to kind of hang on to when you're thinking about, do I really want to do this or do I not want to do it? Does it make me feel uncomfortable? We'll realize that actually there is pain associated with growth, but sometimes resistance is one of the best things to help you grow. I watched a great video last night by a guy called Aaron Parkinson, who's doing a 90-day blitz at the moment. And he said, if you go to the gym and you only lift a 0.5 kilogram weight, don't expect to grow muscles. So sometimes, if you're in that stage of your life where you want to grow, but you're kind of, you don't want to face the pain of that, whatever that pain means to you, reframe that in your mind and think, actually, this is the growth zone. So actually pain, whether it's physical or mental or kind of just intellectual, whatever it is a real necessary part of our growth. And it is difficult and it can be stressful, but it actually yields great results when you do that, even if it's not as good as you want it to be the first time round. So the phrase that I wanted to round up this with is, in fact, there's two of them. And the first one is one that you've probably heard a number of times, and that is massive imperfect action. Not missing in action, but massive imperfect action. And obviously, again, put this in context for your situation right now if you are someone who wants to get out of your comfort zone. But it's far better to learn by doing and as well as learn by learning other people. So learn, implement and teach. But it's great if you can learn by doing and kind of like iteratively get better and better. That's just how we learn in life, just how we learn to walk. If you've ever driven a car, it's how you learn to drive a car. If you can read music, whatever you've done in life, you've done it through just kind of going, spiraling upwards and actually getting better and better at it. So just believe that actually massive imperfect action is definitely something you should be thinking about and actually deciding you're going to do if you want to get out of your comfort zone. And the second one, which is kind of another kind of epithet, another pithy way of saying the same thing, is it's actually the title of a book. And you've probably heard of this too if you're kind of into this mindset stuff, and that is ready, fire, aim. Now, if you're in a firing range, you're supposed to ready, aim, fire, but ready, fire, aim is a deliberate attempt to reframe that. So ready, fire, aim is basically, you're going to get ready, but then actually just take some action. And as you take action, you can aim towards getting that better result. Now, again, if you're doing brain surgery or building bridges or airplanes, just take what I said with a pinch of salt. But if you're trying a new skill or you're trying out something for the first time and you realize that there's going to be a learning curve here, just hang on to those two phrases and think to yourself, the only way I can do this is by doing it. And if I keep on doing it, I'll get better and I'll grow that muscle, get stronger. I'll be in the growth zone, as I like to call it. It's a much more positive way of framing out of your comfort zone. So if I'm in the growth zone, that's where things happen. Okay, that's where, if I'm, humble enough to kind of learn from my mistakes and accept other people's valid input, then I can grow, and I can actually see that as an opportunity to actually expand the comfort zone, so it gets larger and larger. And as it gets larger, then you're able to be more adventurous in life, but without the necessary downside of that. Because obviously adventure is risky, but if you are gaining confidence and competence at the same time, then you can see the benefits of what you're doing, as well as obviously the pain of the growth that has to happen. So I hope that's been valuable for you. Over the next 14 days, I'll be doing some more structured videos, but I thought I'd do this first one about the comfort zone because, I wanted to kind of throw myself into this and talk about something that's been very close to my heart really over the last 10, 12 years, ever since leaving my job. Now, if you would like to get hold of the notes that I'm going to be doing as a result of doing Ray's 14-day challenge, then obviously drop me a message me on Facebook or wherever you are. I will endeavor to catch up with you and send you the notes. And if you want to get into video as well, then do talk to me, because obviously video is something I've been doing on and off for quite some time. So, if you struggle with the technicalities or you're not confident in front of the camera, then by all means do reach out to me and we can have a conversation. And I wish you every success in whatever you're doing. All right, I'll speak to you soon.